If you see a house like this on the street, don't go in there, because there's a 98% chance you'll never get out. There are 6 small dark rooms in the house. It is said that one is more exciting than the other, and every room can strike at your deepest fears. This house is just too weird, but our protagonist, Xiao Mei, doesn't believe in evil. To challenge this man-eating house, she and her friend went to the first room. Inside were 8 sculptures of human heads. What makes them so incredible is, these are the 8 of them. A few friends speculated the homeowner may have used a 3D printer. They want to take pictures with their cell phones, only to find the signal gone. Suddenly the lights went out. A couple of them got scared. The light came on again after 5 seconds. The scene in the room made their scalp tingle. The original complete sculptures, and suddenly it's a wreck. The heart of the sculpture also glows red, clearly an ominous sign. In the meantime, the secret door of the room was opened. The second room was beckoning to them. They followed the secret door in. At first there was talking and laughing. Suddenly the lights went out again. After a few seconds, the lights turned on again. They couldn't laugh at the moment, because in the corner of the room, there stood a masked man. The masked man began to line up around everyone. It's like he's staring at his prey. When the masked man saw Xiao Mei and whispered a few words in her ear, Xiao Mei was puzzled, because the masked man called her by her nickname. At this very moment, the light went out again. Wait until the lights are on. A long trail of blood appeared on the ground. One of the girls was terrified. Hurriedly feel the exit panic and escape. The room is getting weirder, but Mei is still not afraid. She wanted to find out why the masked man would know. Only her dead father. To find out his nickname, they went on to the third room, but the difficulty of the room is increasing. This room, only one person can go in at a time. Mei took the lead. What she saw was a long corridor. She wants to go back to her friends, but the revolving door is jammed. Xiao Mei had to be brave enough to go inside, and at the end of the corridor, there stood a mirror. She moved slowly forward. Suddenly a hand came out behind the mirror. Little Mei was shocked, and then she noticed there was a man standing behind the mirror. She poked her head out curiously. There's an old man's face. The uncle smirked at her. Mei Qing ran away. At the same time she came to the fourth room. This room has a big screen. The picture that's in there, the father who died years ago. Mei Qing felt more and more wrong. How could there be a video of her father in this house? At this very moment, there's an exit to Mei's left, and there's a 5th room on the right. Maybe it's about finding out the truth. Little Mei didn't even think about it, and went into the 5th room. It's like her living room. There was a clay man sitting on the sofa, and it's on TV. It's a video of Mei and her father as a child. This house is really terrible. The clay man suddenly stood up. Xiao Mei was so frightened that she ran out of the house. Who escaped from the house, and her best friend. She is in a trance like Xiao Mei. On my way home, they found no one over the street. Mei went home. She thought she could get a good night's sleep. Just up the stairs, she heard a familiar voice in the drawing room. She looked back. It was his own dead father. And on her doorstep, the number is impressively written, 6. Turns out they didn't even get out. She was trapped in the 6th room.
How was your night?
The streets here seem to be flat. It's no different from a normal street, but you look closely, all the houses, they all look exactly alike, and the people on the street, they did not move a muscle. Not only that, Mei is still at home, saw her father, who had been dead for years. Then she and her friends got it. They didn't even get out, but they're still trapped in a man-eating house. The fake dad would cook for her, would tell her a bad joke, just like Mei's real dad. Her best friend pulled Mei out, tell her to find a way out of here, but Mei won't let go, wanted to be here, wanted to spend some time with dad. Her best friend sobers Xiao Mei up a bit, small beauty but obstinately do not understand, and got into a big fight with her best friend. Dad was swimming with Mei at night, but Mei found out the swimming pool is strangely strange. No matter how far she went down, the bottom of the pool is not visible at all. Wait till night when Xiao Mei is asleep. The fake father went to his daughter's room, touching her daughter's head. In his mind appeared the picture of Mei's mother, with a look of enjoyment. At breakfast the next day, Xiao Mei suddenly shed tears without realizing it. Turns out she found out, in her own mind, has lost his mother's face, in one memory after another. Mom's figure is very blurred. Mei Qing got it. Must be a fake dad. Ate her memory. She excused herself for going out. The fake dad stopped it. She locked herself in her room, trying to get out through the window, but the window wouldn't open, even if she takes out the stool, and didn't break the window. In the meantime, the fake dad was banging on her door. The knock on the door grew louder, even knocked the door open. Xiao Mei quickly hid in the wardrobe, and suddenly fell into the water. When she surfaced, she found out this is her pool. Mei began to run around the town. The fake dad chased after her. Girlfriend heard Xiao Mei's shout and came to help Mei. As they fight their way around, Mei managed to avoid fake daddy's pursuit. She's staying at her best friend's house. She was just about to look out the window, only to find a black plume of smoke. She followed the black smoke to its source, only to discover it wasn't black smoke at all. It's a huge barrier. They climbed up the tall water tower, and look at what's happening. Even more incredible, the whole town are shrouded in black domes, and the black end. There is a way out. Maybe that's the only way out, or it was a deliberate trap for them to walk through. They're starting to get out of the cannibal house. At that moment all the people in the room came out. They're all with May. Seems to be trying to stop them from escaping. Soon, more and more people were following them. When they come to the end of town, all the people who followed stopped. It's like an impossible boundary. They stood there in a daze, and a few of them continued to explore. They didn't notice May's fake dad followed. They went from day to evening, late into the night. The road is like an abyss. There's no end to it. After a long time, at last they came to a cornfield. They walked in together, but a couple of the other guys got separated on the way. Wait till they come to the end of the cornfield. Sure enough, they saw the familiar house. The only people who are alive now are Xiaomei and her best friends. They entered the house hand in hand, vowed to get out of here together. In the first room, with two sculptures of human heads, one is Xiaomei, and the other is her best friend. They don't care much. Hurry to the next level. Second room, it's a familiar blue chamber. They're trying to find an exit, only to find the door missing. The lights went out suddenly, and open it again. At this point unknown fluid seeps out of the ground. The two men ducked in horror. The liquid spread gradually throughout the chamber, forced May and her best friend apart. At this very moment, the hidden door behind May opened. Her best friend is treading where there is no liquid, jumping forward one by one, before the liquid spreads all over the room. They made it through to the next level. The third room, it's a one-person corridor at a time. This time, Xiaomei and her best friend's IQ are online, hand in hand through the revolving door. It's dark here. They had to go deep, but May didn't even notice. There is a white-haired woman behind her. No, it's not a woman. It's the creepy uncle with the wig. Uncle grabbed Xiaomei's hair, dragged her into a classroom by force. Fortunately, her best friend saved her. Xiaomei just escaped. And in the fourth room, it was May's late father. Looks like the house wants to keep May again with her father. To confuse her brain, Xiaomei's tears fell down in a flash. There's a dad in the house. How could she leave him alone? Small beauty is about to be diluted. Best friend grabbed her and ran. Finally got out of the fourth level. May is clearly exhausted. Her best friend took her by the hand. Xiaomei's a little screwed up. Fifth room. It's Xiaomei's familiar living room. And that strange clay man. They take advantage of the clay man's inattention, stealthily along the wall towards the exit. Suddenly the clay man stood up. Xiaomei and her best friend rushed out immediately.
Are we home? I think so.
This is the TV series Channel Zero. The dearest loved ones are still precious, but those who can't come back can only stay in our memory. Indulge too much in the past. You lose what you have right now. Just look ahead and be brave to start a new life.